Scott Baldwin has been on General Hospital for decades, so newer viewers might not be aware of his extensive history in Port Charles. But that's where we come in. The character first appeared in the mid-60s play by child actor Johnny Whitaker, and after a series of young actors was aged to an adult in 1977 when Ken Schreiner took over the role. He's come and gone from the soap multiple times over the years, even starring on the GH spin-off, Port Charles for a time. So join us for a look back at his adventures. Born Scotty Bentley, the young boy came to Port Charles with his mother, Meg Bentley, and stepsister Brooke. Eventually, Meg married Lee Baldwin, who adopted Scotty, but she developed breast cancer followed by a mental breakdown that forced Lee to have her committed. After Meg's death, Lee raised Scotty on his own until sending him off to law school. She's my date. Hands off, Spencer. ABC Photo Archives/ABC via Getty Images. When Scotty returned in 1977, he got a job at the hospital and fell in love with Laura Weber. Despite the manipulations of his on-again/off-again lover, Bobby Spencer, Scotty and Laura became man and wife. Unfortunately, Laura soon fell in love with Luke Spencer and divorced Scotty after just 2 years of marriage. At Luke and Laura's wedding, Scotty caught the bouquet and declared he was contesting the divorce. His darker side came out as he married Susan Moore for her money while having an affair with Heather Weber. After Susan's murder, Scotty left town for a while. In 1987, Scotty returned and got involved in a relationship with Lucy Coe. Although they split up, the pair remained good friends, and when Scotty married Dominique Stanton, Lucy offered to be their surrogate mother because Dominique was dying. Unfortunately, Scotty's wife didn't live long enough to witness Lucy giving birth to their daughter, named Serena. After a brief engagement to Catherine Bell, Scotty took Serena and left Port Charles again. Scotty returned in 1997 when Serena was kidnapped. At first, he blamed Lucy, but then they teamed up to find the real kidnapper, Dominique's uncle, Rex Stanton, who was after the little girl's trust fund. Once Serena was home safe and Rex was behind bars, Scotty began dating Dr. Eve Lambert. In the end, though, he found his way back to Lucy, and they became business partners and eventually tied the knot. After their marriage fizzled out, Scotty started dating Laura again, but she was still in love with Luke, which led to her turning down Baldwin's marriage proposal. Kevin always seemed to be coming between Scotty and Lucy. Saida Diani, ABC. While Scotty was running for district attorney, Laura recalled killing her father's mistress years ago, and when she went to confront Rick about it, he ended up dead. Laura had a mental breakdown and was committed. After Scotty had won the race, Laura came out of her catatonic state to tell Lulu she didn't kill Rick. It was then revealed that Scotty had been the one who'd accidentally killed Rick trying to protect Laura. Scotty also learned he had a son when ex-soldier Logan Hayes arrived in town, but he was killed by Lulu in self-defense when she caught him beating up Maxie. Furious, Scotty threatened Lulu in front of Laura, which brought her out of her catatonia again. He took Laura to Los Angeles to relive their honeymoon, and her family followed to bring her home. Later, Laura decided to go to France to seek further treatment, and Scotty secretly joined her. In 2013, Scott returned to Port Charles with the news that he and Laura were engaged. Fearing she would again choose Luke, Scott rushed her down the aisle, but she still ended up spending more time with her ex-husband when their daughter, Lulu, was abducted. Giving in, Scott decided it would be best if they split up. He was shocked when Heather revealed that the former serial killer, Franco, is their son, resulting from a drunken hookup many years ago. Get a haircut, kid. XJJohnson/JVStudios.com. Scott slowly got to know Franco and began an affair with Lucy. When their affair was publicly exposed at the nurses' ball and she chose to stay with her husband, Kevin, Scott reconnected with Bobby, but Kevin couldn't forgive Lucy and divorced her, sending her running back to Scott only to find him with Bobby. The two women fought over him until Scott finally made the decision and picked Bobby. Unfortunately, that didn't last because he insisted on pressing charges against Carly for knowing the truth about the death of AJ. Quartermaine. Scott was devastated by the deaths of his parents, Lee and Gail Baldwin, and struck up a bit of a flirtation with Ava Jerome. Usually, he's kept very busy in court, often defending clients who aren't particularly innocent. And when Bobby was diagnosed with diabetes, Scott was right there by her side to offer his support. After Franco was implanted with Drew's memories, Scott represented Liz in court as he argued that Franco was still Franco. When Franco was returned to normal, Nicholas returned to Port Charles and Scott warned his son about Liz's past with the Cassadine prince. Nicholas ended up marrying Ava and they found themselves being blackmailed with pics of them kissing Liz and Franco, respectively. In the end, it was revealed that Scott was helping Liz and Franco blackmail the couple and he was stunned when they had a change of heart and tore up the checks. Scott next found himself being brought into Laura's latest drama as she warned him that Cyrus Renault was digging into her past murder of David Hamilton. Scott and Obert became Port Charles' most unlikely pairing. ABC Scott was heartbroken when Franco was murdered, and stunned when Liesl Obert insisted that Peter August was the one responsible for his son's death. A drunken one-night stand between the pair ended up becoming a legitimate relationship as Scott and Obert began dating. He agreed to accompany her on a business trip to St. Lucia, but they feared for their lives when it seemed the plane was going down. Stay tuned to see how Scott's story continues. Love GH? Be sure to join our We Love General Hospital Facebook group to chat about all the latest storylines and juicy gossip. Adblock test, why?